Summertime is here, and this is when people take vacation or just enjoy getting out in the sun, especially on the water. But everyone needs to be mindful of some common summer health issues. Here to help us learn how to have a safe, healthy, and happy summer is Dr. Jeremy Wigginton, Lead Medical Director for New Orleans region of Blue Cross Blue Shield of Louisiana. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So what are some health issues we should be thinking about, especially during the summer months?
Of course. Well, as you know, in Louisiana, summer can last a very long time. So it's something to keep in mind all year. And with Blue Cross, we are really focused on improving the health and lives of Louisianans every day, all year long. And so during the summer, there's some major things to think about, especially once it gets warmer. We all start thinking about getting outside, getting in the sun, maybe getting out on the water. So there are some things you don't want to forget when that time of the year comes. So when you think about getting out in the sun, you definitely want to think about preventing over sun exposure and sunburns. So
Sure.
Not only can sunburns be painful, but they also can increase your risk for certain types of skin cancer. So you want to make sure that you're protecting yourself against the sun, wearing sunscreen. You may even want to wear a long sleeve shirt if you're going to be out in the sun for an extended period of time. And don't forget, your scalp is going to be exposed to the sun too, so you want to make sure you're wearing a hat if possible. And also, when you're out in the sun, don't forget about that heat exposure. So especially in Louisiana, it can get very hot during the summertime. So even if you're in the water, don't forget about that heat exposure. So young children and the elderly especially can be very susceptible to getting overheated and getting dehydrated. So you want to make sure you stay well hydrated as well when you're out in the sun.
Sure, and that includes boating and heading to the pools and that type of thing as well. And there are some safety tips for people who choose to do those sports.
Yes, exactly. So if you're out at a pool, even though there's a lifeguard, if you're with small children, you want to try to keep your eye on small children, especially if you're out on a boat. You want to make sure you're following all the state laws in regards to life jackets. It's just not always a bad idea to wear a life jacket anyway. You just never know what might happen if you're on a moving boat. And also, if you're in natural waters, so you're out on the lake or you're somewhere where natural reservoir of water, don't forget that that water, you can't see the bottom. So you want to make sure you don't jump into water where you can't see the bottom, because that can cause an injury too if there's some obstruction underneath the water that you can't see. Also, not to forget, in Louisiana we have alligators and snakes both. So those are things that if you see an alligator or snake, even if you think it possibly can't be poisonous, just don't go near. You don't want to risk it, right? And also in natural water, not to forget that there can be runoff from fields or from other sources. So if possible, not to get your head underwater so that you don't swallow any of the water, because that can also make you sick. And if the water gets in your eyes, sometimes that can cause irritation as well. So those are definitely things to think about when you're around the water. Sure,
and also mosquitoes as well. I mean, make sure we don't have those stagnant pools in our backyards, right?
Yes, exactly. So again, when we're outside, not to forget that you want to prevent mosquito bites. Not only can they too be irritating, but they can also transmit certain diseases. And here in Louisiana, we have for a long while now seen cases of West Nile virus. Also very dangerous for young children or the elderly. It can also make general adults sick. And now also the emergence of the Zika virus, which is particularly dangerous for women who may be pregnant or if they are already pregnant, and for young children as well. So you want to try to prevent mosquito exposure, wearing long sleeves, long pants if possible, wearing repellent. If you're going to be sitting outside at a barbecue, running a fan so that the mosquitoes can't light on your skin and cause a bite. So definitely want to think about those mosquito exposures. And if you're going to travel, make sure you look ahead. If you're going out of the country, the CDC website has travel advisories if there may be mosquito-borne illnesses outside of the country as well. So definitely things to think about.
Sure. And then, so what if you get sick while you're on vacation, you're traveling elsewhere? Any tips?
Of course, that's a really great question. So especially if you're going to go out of town, it's always good to keep a list of your medications, the dosages, carry those with you, and your insurance identification card if you're going to leave town, and also keep your pharmacy's information with you. And if you're a Blue Cross member, you can of course access Blue Care, which is the telehealth platform that Blue Cross has. So on your iPhone or Android, there's an app. It's called Blue Care. It's one word. You can also access it from the Blue Cross website, but that's 24 hours a day within the 50 United States. So if you can click when you're sick, if you're out of town, and you can access Blue Care anytime in the United States.
Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, within the U.S. Okay.
Yes, it is within the 50 United States.
Okay, and then we're in the midst of hurricane season. need to be prepared for that all the time, it seems.
Absolutely. With coming of the summer season, we're all glad that we're going to be outside, but we also have to think about that is hurricane season. And so being vigilant and watching your local news, we typically have a lot of time to know that a hurricane is coming. So again, keeping a list of your medications current, keeping your dosages written down, making sure you're not going to run out of medication during the hurricane if it's coming into town. So some plans will allow you to get your fill a little bit early, but you want to make sure you're not out of medication. So make sure you get those filled before you may have to evacuate. And again, keeping your insurance identification card that is current on your person so that you can have that if you have to seek medical care out of town. And again, if you're out of town and you have a cold or a flu type symptoms, something easy, again, you can always access Blue Care anytime during the day or night, 24 hours a day. So that's something to think about as well.
All right, wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Blue Cross Blue Shield of Louisiana has a special summer health and safety website. Just log on to bcbsla.com. And of course, you can also go to bluecarela.com or get the app Blue Care. And of course, there's much more to come on Great Day After the Break. Stick with us.